America has always told its war stories through courage, through sacrifice, through human faces frozen in black and white photographs. We remember young soldiers stepping off trains after long journeys across a continent at war. We remember pilots adjusting their helmets before climbing into cockpits, knowing some would never return. We remember letters folded and unfolded until the paper thinned, carrying hope, fear, and final goodbyes. These stories are real. They deserve to be remembered. But they are incomplete, because there is one truth almost no one is taught. In the largest wars America ever fought, entire battles were decided by beings who never chose to fight. They did not understand freedom. They did not understand nations. They did not understand why the war even existed. Yet, when radios went silent, when engines stalled, when technology reached its breaking point, they were the ones who kept the war moving. And once you see this part of history, you can never unsee it. Long before engines roared and radios crackled, war moved at the pace of muscle and breath. Entire campaigns advanced only as fast as animals could carry men, weapons, food, and hope across hostile terrain. If horses collapsed, armies stopped. If pack animals failed, supply lines vanished. If messenger birds did not return, commanders waited in the dark. Horses charged into battle beside armored knights, their armor clattering as loudly as the steel they carried. Elephants shattered enemy formations in the ancient world, causing terror before a single blow was struck. Camels crossed deserts where no mechanical army could survive, enduring heat, thirst, and exhaustion that would kill unprepared soldiers within days. These animals were not accessories to war. They were the war. And as conflict evolved across centuries, something deeply unexpected happened. The more modern war became, the more it relied on something ancient. World War I shattered every assumption about combat. Machine guns turned heroic charges into instant massacres. Artillery erased forests, villages, and entire landscapes from the map. Trenches filled with mud, gas, fear, and bodies, swallowing soldiers whole for months at a time. It was the first truly industrial war in human history. And yet, survival still depended on living creatures. More than 16 million animals were mobilized. Horses dragged artillery through mud that devoured trucks and engines. Mules climbed narrow mountain paths where no vehicle could survive. Dogs crossed no man's land carrying messages under constant gunfire. Pigeons flew through smoke, fire, and shrapnel, delivering orders that shaped entire offensives and saved thousands of lives. Steel dominated the battlefield, but instinct kept it functioning. Close your eyes and imagine the sound of war. Not explosions, hoofbeats. By dawn, horses were already moving, long before soldiers reached their positions. They pulled guns heavier than themselves, hauled ammunition through frozen roads, and carried wounded men whose blood soaked into their coats as they struggled forward anyway. Even in World War II, despite tanks, aircraft, and mechanized divisions, the German army relied on over 2 million horses. The Blitzkrieg is remembered as a triumph of machines, speed, coordination, steel. But if you had stood behind the front lines, you would have heard something very different. You would have heard hoofbeats. Dogs did not understand flags or borders. They did not know ideology or politics. They understood scent, sound, and command. They searched collapsed cities after bombing raids, crawling into spaces no human could enter. They detected poison gas before lungs burned and eyes closed forever. They guarded perimeters in total silence, alerting soldiers to danger without revealing their position. One dog, Sergeant Stubby, warned American troops of gas attacks during World War I and even captured a German spy. Another, Jet, rescued over 150 people from bombed buildings during World War II. On one occasion, Jet located a woman trapped beneath a collapsed hotel and refused to move for 12 hours until rescuers reached her. Some animals saved lives in ways no machine ever could. Others were pushed into roles no living being should ever face. When radios failed, war turned to birds. Carrier pigeons flew through artillery barrages carrying messages no human could deliver. Cher Ami saved nearly 200 American soldiers, even after being shot. Gustav carried the first confirmation of D-Day back to England, flying over 200 kilometers through hostile skies in just hours. No encryption, no backup. Just flight. If this part of history surprises you, you're not alone. Most people were never taught this. If you want more stories like this, told fully, not briefly, consider subscribing. At some point, war stopped asking what animals could do and started asking what it could do to them. Dogs were turned into living bombs. Rats were filled with explosives. Pigeons were trained to guide missiles. Innovation gave way to desperation, and the line between necessity and cruelty slowly disappeared. When the guns fell silent, the animals returned home quietly. No parades, no pensions, no recognition. Many were euthanized. Others were abandoned. A few were honored. History moved on. You might think this is all history. It isn't. Dogs still patrol borders. Dolphins still detect underwater mines. Animals remain irreplaceable where technology fails. War evolved. Dependence did not. Animals never chose war. They were trained, deployed, used. They did not understand the causes, only the commands. Modern war wanted to be mechanical, predictable, controlled. But when machines failed, animals remained. Victory depended on beings who never chose to fight. And in that realization, history snapped. If this story changed how you see history, leave a like and share your thoughts. History isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers.